And if Rolling Stone can have one album be 2 albums, I can have 3 songs be 4 songs.
We make the rules now.
That's right. We're the talent.
Okay, let's
Nice job.
Can't unhear it.
This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum.
Yep. I'm like, oh, is this the United States? Oh, yep, it's the weather. That's just good.
It double entendre
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Backwards Beats podcast. I'm Carl Carter Fansteel.
And I'm Dan Woodard.
Winter's coming. Wait, winter's here.
Winter's here.
We're gonna get stomped out in the fine state of Maryland this Sunday in a snowstorm, it seems.
I cannot wait for Snowmageddon.
I'm not as stoked, but I did go buy all of the necessities today.
Yeah.
The eggs, the bread, the milk, and about 40 pounds of meat.
Nice. You know what I'm not going to buy?
40 pounds of meat?
40 pounds of toilet paper.
Oh, yeah. No, we probably all have that left.
I'll just use my hand.
That's the way.
Yeah.
I've considered getting into the bidet game.
You know who makes a really good bidet?
John Juan by Ryobi.
Ryobi, yeah.
Yeah.
They were a sponsor a few episodes back.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
The Green Stallion bidet.
Yeah. Portable.
Yes.
So you can just pack it if you go to like a music festival.
That's a nice reason to do it. Maybe bring your vagabond girlfriend.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, check out Ryobi's newest invention there. It's a fine way to wash.
Ryobi, John Juan.
Hi. What are we doing today?
We're going to talk about Bo Diddley.
Bo Diddley is rock and roll,
Correct.
according to Most Def.
I'm going to start off with a little bit of beef.
Okay.
Okay.
Beef
So
it up.
we're going to talk about this podcast is, if you didn't listen to the theme song, go back and listen to the theme song. But this is a show about the 500 albums Rolling Stone said are the best.
We're going to listen to them ad nauseum.
Yes. We're going to talk about 2 albums today.
Why are we talking about 2 albums when we're supposed to be talking about 1 album, Dan?
So what Rolling Stone did in their infinite wisdom is we're going to be talking about the album Bo Diddley and the album Go Bo Diddley.
The set
of
2.
Right. So basically they repackaged as one double album. It's 2 records. So here's my beef. Not with Bo Diddley, not with the packaging of 2 albums. This is 2 albums.
It is. And it's officially called 2-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
If you look very closely on a very popular streaming service, you can locate the list.
Yep.
Though sometimes I could, sometimes I couldn't. That was obnoxious.
Yep.
More often than not, I just listened to the first album, then the second album.
Correct. So no shade on Bo Diddley. So this combination of albums ranks as number 555 on Rolling Stone magazine's top 501 albums of all time.
I see what you did there.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? We've had a number of compilations, which is what I'm treating this like in my mind.
Yeah.
They've all been single albums, though.
Right. I'm not treating this as a compilation because it's just 2 records. They didn't cherry pick.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the difference. So all the other compilations have been cherry picked.
Yeah,
songs.
We're going to put all these songs together. And whether or not they were served in multiple discs back in the day or vinyl or 8 tracks, I don't care.
Yep.
This is truly 2 works.
Mm-hmm.
This is us setting you up for the fact that we're not going to drag you through 24 songs here.
That's right.
We're going to talk about each album.
Yep.
And then we'll kind of pick the highlights, I think.
Yeah.
The signatures, the same way we would with anything else. But don't think we're going to beat you over the head with 24 Bo Diddley songs.
No. And that's, again, no indictment on Bo Diddley. It's just, I don't know if you need to hear us talk about all 24 of these songs.
A lot of them do have a lot of similar themes, similar tropes, chord progressions. So we promise you're not missing much by us not going too far down the rabbit hole.
I'm sure we'll fill the space.
Yes, we always manage to. Let's talk about Bo.
Born Elias Bates on December 30th, 1928, near Macomb, Mississippi, into a sharecropping family. Now, before you get on sharecropping, doesn't it sound like sharecropping? Doesn't it sound nice? We're sharing the crop.
Oh, dude, what a scam.
Right. It really is. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, basically after emancipation, African Americans didn't really have any property, money, or anywhere to go. So sharecropping is the idea as the landowner provides you access to the land and you share the profits from the crop, which sounds good enough at first.
Allegedly.
Right. But there's a bit of I say indentured servitude that plays through that, because it was a system that's really geared towards keeping you in debt.
Yeah, it was just another version of slavery.
Yeah.
Because you would pay all of the expenses of living. You were stuck buying your tools, your crops, your seeds off of them
On credit. Yeah.
Yeah, on credit.
Yeah.
So you were effectively doing the same thing that you did, and not really ever moving forward in most circumstances.
Yeah, it really did create a system of economic oppression.
Indeed. And, for these poor folks, they didn't have any other experience or exposure to be able to just, why don't you just leave? No, it's what you know.
Yeah.
And
you weren't even necessarily allowed to, because there's still plenty of laws that were preventing, they're vagrancy laws. So if you decide to leave and go find yourself or go get an education, well, if you can't prove employment, that was a crime.
Yep.
So there was...
Deck was still quite stacked.
It was. I just always thought that was an interesting name for something that's not...
It's so whitewashed.
Well, let's share it. Let's share the crop.
Sharecropping.
Anyway, so he was born in 1928, and he was adopted by his mother's cousin, Gussie McDaniel, and took that surname and moved with her to Chicago during the Great Migration. So he was able to get out of the sharecropping world. That's good. And was raised in a musical environment, played violin, trombone in the church and orchestra, and then gravitated towards guitar after hearing the blues and rhythmic gospel. There's a good blues thing going on up in Chicago.
Love it.
The name Bo Diddley came from school peers. Doesn't really mean anything. He doesn't really know the origin other than you don't know Diddley. It could have been derogatory.
Sure. Still better than Hot Carl.
unless you're into that. So, Chicago's South Side was a melting pot of blues, R&B, and gospel. It really shaped his rhythmic approach and his rhythmic sensibilities, which came out of Afro-Cuban roots via hambone and clave rhythms, which we'll talk about.
You can
clave.
hear that.
Yeah. And by the early 1950s, he was playing in Chicago street corners, clubs. He was busking. He's also Maxwell Street and 708 club gigs, which was really getting him some notoriety. He formed a working band with harmonica, drums, bass, and what other instrument do you think?
Oh, you have to have your best friend on maracas.
That's correct. That's right. Jerome Green on maracas. Basically, longtime on-stage partner. And we may talk about some maracas in this episode. His breakout single in 1955 was the song Bo Diddley. And there's a really interesting thing, if I remember, maybe I should write it down. I'll put in the show notes, there's an interview with Bo Diddley where he talks about going into Chess Records and saying, hey, I want to make a record. And he had the opportunity to have the conversation. He played the first version to Bo Diddley, and he was kind of sent like, well, you got a thing there. There's something with your rhythm, but the song makes no sense. So he basically, I guess he went away to rethink about the song and rewrite the song, rewrite the lyrics, and came back in and basically started recording with Chess Records on the Checkers imprint.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. And really the thing that was intriguing was the Bo Diddley rhythm,
Yes,
which I think we should spend a minute talking about that.
indeed.
Do you have anything you want to say about it, or?
Well, so this rhythm, you don't know that you know it, but you know it.
Right.
It's been copied and taken a million times. And the fact of the matter is it's simply his interpretation of a clave.
Yeah, it's a 3/2 clave.
It is a 3/2 clave. 3/2 meaning it's literally a triplet, which is just subdivided 3 notes over 4, dot, 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 right?
Yep.
But swung,
Yep.
and then 2/8, ta, ta,
Yep.
right? And so out of this entire triplet, you end up with a phrase that sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. And it's this fun driving rhythm. And it just so happens that if you have a 16th note shaker or tambourine or some sort of sound source flying over it, you get something that's really groovy, really danceable. And it's a fun and popular beat. And it was pretty much unheard of in the blues and rock and roll scene.
Right.
Well, rock and roll. I mean, he was helping create it at the time.
That's right. So I thought I would read off a list of songs.
I had a couple. Yeah, I'd love to hear this.
Okay. I'm going to start from oldest to newest here.
Okay.
Okay. I Wish You Would by Billy Boy Arnold, who we'll hear about later on the harmonica.
Okay.
Not Fade Away by Buddy Holly.
Oh, yeah. How about that?
Willie and the Hand Jive.
Ooh, hand jive.
It's a good one by Johnny Otis. That's 1958. Marie's the Name, his latest flame by Elvis Presley. When the Love Light Starts Shining Through His Eyes by the Supremes. Don't Doubt Yourself, Babe by the Byrds. I Want Candy.
That's the one everybody knows,
Yep,
right?
by the Strange Loves. Please Go Home by the Rolling Stones. She Has Funny Cars by Jefferson Airplane.
Yep.
Magic Bus by The Who.
Oh, yeah. How about that? I didn't think of that one.
1969 by the Stooges.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Panic in Detroit by David Bowie. Shame, Shame, Shame by Shirley and Company. Custard Pie by Led Zeppelin. New York Groove by Hello. Billy Bones and the Whitebirds by Elton John. She's the One by Bruce Springsteen. Bad Blood by Neil Sedaka. American Girl by Tom Petty. Hateful by The Clash. Rudy Can't Fail by The Clash. She's So Selfish by The Knack. Lover's Walk by Elvis Costello.
Hey, that's a good one.
That is a good one, yeah. Cuban Slide by The Pretenders. Don't Let Him Go by REO Speedwagon. Hare Krishna by Husker Du. How Soon Is Now by The Smiths. Mr. Brownstone by Guns N' Roses.
Oh, man.
Faith by George Michael.
Yeah.
Same year those songs came out.
How about that?
Yeah. Desire by U2. Black
Oh, that's
Horse.
another one. Yeah,
Yeah.
how about that?
Black Horse and the Cherry Tree by KT Tunstall.
Oh, my gosh.
And one of my favorite ones, well, actually, how about this? If It's Lovin' You Want by Rihanna.
Oh, man. I didn't even think. Wow.
And
Prolific.
one of my favorite ones that you're probably aware of is the Bluey theme.
Oh, wow. Okay. You've done it.
There we go.
You've cracked the code.
Crack the code.
Bo Diddley.
Bo Diddley.
We could stop the episode now and go, you deserve to be on the list. Look, look what you inspired
Right.
by Rolling Stone standard.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because they're always willing to give out that badge for people who would, sow some sort of influence over music. And if you listen to the I think the interesting thing, because, my list is about 5 songs. I didn't put a ton of work into it. But if you listen to the breadth and the diversity and the art created in that pile of songs you just said, you had R&B, you had hard rock, you had pop rock, you had punk rock. I mean, the Clash is awesome.
Right.
But you end up with doo-woppy stuff. There's so much variety, and it goes to show how powerful that clave beat is.
Yeah.
Leave it to Bo and let him take his bow, because he was able to take it and use it in a new way. First documented, one may say, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Musicologists will say that he didn't actually invent the rhythm. There's about 13 other songs that are credited to potentially having that rhythm that have been recorded that they know about coming out of blues before that. But he definitely...
No, he's the guy who got it.
Yep.
Got it up there.
Yeah.
And that's who takes the cake.
Yeah. So obviously he was innovative from that perspective. Also an interesting thing that he brought to the table is his guitar playing, specifically his usage of tremolo.
Yeah, he was using a lot of trem, and he also uses a lot of guitar techniques that, look, I don't know much about the time, but it stands out because you and I have listened to other artists who have been on Chess Records,
Yep.
mainly blues artists,
Right.
and Bo's style of playing is not, even though you hear a lot of blues inspired stuff here, you have to remember rock and roll is the blues. 1-4-5 progressions all were taken from the blues.
Right.
All of the stuff that your favorite rock and roll band, name them, the guys, were inspired by was all blues music down the line. And look no further than the Stones, look no further than Zeppelin, to really find that Beatles. It was all blues music first. And so when you listen to his approach on the guitar, he's using really, really fun kind of like 16th note, 8th note triplet combinations.
Yep.
He's not doing a call and response blues lick style very often.
No.
Not to say it doesn't exist in the playing. It's there.
Yep.
But one last piece here is sometimes the guitar can be more up front. It's a guitar-driven song. And sometimes some of these more doo-wop inspired songs, the guitar's just in the back doing a more traditional arpeggiated role, which has nothing to do with the blues.
Right.
So you have a very dynamic player behind the wheel here.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple other interesting facts, I think. So he was on the Ed Sullivan Show,
Heard of him?
and he was banned from the Ed Sullivan Show because of a miscommunication. I forgot to write down which song it was. I'm skimming
Did he
through
call
it.
Ed the wrong name?
No, what it was is he was playing a different song during rehearsal, and Ed Sullivan asked if he would play that song. I should have wrote it down instead of the song he was going to play, which is Bo Diddley.
Yeah.
So Bo's like, sure, I'll do that. And then he gets up towards the stage and he sees like the set list and it says Bo Diddley and then this other song. And he thought that it meant play the song Bo Diddley, then play the other song. But what it actually meant is the artist's name is Bo Diddley, who's going to play this song. So he played the song, pissed Ed Sullivan off because he didn't follow the instruction. But it was just a miscommunication. And
Yeah.
I saw this actually.
That's why you don't name a song after yourself.
Or like 11 songs after yourself.
About to say, there's an awful lot of
Diddley songs.
Yeah.
I already talked about some people he inspired. He also did, let's see, a lot of people covered him too, and we can talk about some of those people. But he also, in like 1979, he opened for The Clash.
That's pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. I want, since they already...
Think about the longevity to like roll into 79 and be like, yeah, we're taking Bo Diddley out with us.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
such a flex on both sides.
It really is. It really is. And, unfortunately, he lived till he was about 1979, and he
was 1979 years old.
Is that what I said? Yeah. So he lived till he was 79 years old.
Oh, 79.
Yeah.
That's a pretty damn good run.
Essentially died of a stroke. Well, he had a stroke and then complications from it. And there's this interesting story about he's on his deathbed and he was surrounded by people and they were singing this gospel tune while he was, out cold. And apparently after the song was done, he opened his eyes and he goes, well, I guess I'm going to heaven.
Aw.
So it's kind of a nice little...
That's a good way to go out.
Yeah, it's a good way to go.
Surrounded by people you love singing gospel at 79 years old.
Yeah.
That's damn good, dude.
Yeah, we've talked about some other negative things about the way people have gone out. I figure that was a nice, charming little...
Yeah, I think you and I both are terrified of drowning and immolation.
Yeah.
I think we agreed splat or just drugs is the best way.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, he was massive. He's a cultural icon. Even though his songs themselves aren't as, big a hits as like Chuck Berry or Little Richard, it's undoubtable the influence that he's had.
Yeah, there's a lot of like groundwork that was set here.
Yep.
And, he surrounded himself, it seems, with pretty great musicians. And when you're in a system or a network like that, yeah, the best way I can like take it out of music context for people who might not have been in that realm in the studios or in bands is like, how like the same actors all work together in like troops.
Yeah.
Like think about like when you watch like 40-Year-Old Virgin, right? And you see like the guys who are cast, you're like, okay, there's Rudd, there's Seth.
Yep.
And like they all work, or like the Anchorman guys. So like these little troops, and when they're all in the room together,
Yeah.
suddenly everything's better.
Yep.
Right? Same thing here. When you get around the right musicians, especially in a recording scenario, band, sure, performance is performance. But this is how like the Wrecking Crew, was so effective.
Yeah.
When you get into the right group of musicians. So if you look at some of the musicians he's hanging with on all of these,
Willie Dixon, for example.
and don't forget good old Jerome. But you end up becoming legendary in that vein too.
Right.
Like you're able to become bigger for the sake of this list because all of the other artists you lift up with you, and then they play with other people. So you kind of like stamp your own legacy.
Yeah. There's also this really cool picture online that you can see of Jim Morrison attending a Bo Diddley concert and just like being enraptured.
Like fangirling it.
Yeah. And the Doors did cover Bo Diddley.
Yeah.
Yep.
They covered so much. I mean, talk about a band that we don't talk about a lot, but that grabbed a ton of blues music up.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well,
how's that for an intro?
I think it was great.
Right.
And so I guess we'll tackle the first album, and then we'll tackle the second album. Talk about some of the highlights, maybe.
Let's do that
after this break.
Okay. Are the screaming heads in the glowing rectangle making your teeth itch? Does your blood feel like a boiling vinegar every time you see a flag, a Prius, or red hat? You're tilted, friend. You're leaning too heavy to one side and you're about to tip into the abyss. Stop by and breathe in the diesel fumes. Come down to the Pump 7 Surgery Center. Do not mind the puddle of blue slushy or the guy sleeping on a pallet of windshield wiper fluid. That's Pieter. He's our lead technician. He's got steady hands and a set of rusted 18-gauge upholstery needles he found in a dumpster behind a Hobby Lobby. He's going to need you to lean your head back, way back against the jerky dispenser. Keep your eyes open, wide. Wider, like Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange. Pieter's going to slide 3 inches of unsterilized carbon steel right behind your orbital plate. You'll hear a sound like a wet boot stepping on a cockroach. The needle is scraping away the cruft in your brain that thinks that you care about healthcare or borders. Pieter is just wiggling it, balancing the humors, as they say. He's draining the red and the blue out through a dirty Capri Sun straw until all that's left is a lukewarm, muddy, gray slurry. When Pieter pulls out, you'll go into your refractory period. You'll smell the distinct fragrance of tiger lilies mixed with a yellow bandage from a diabetic's necrotic foot. When you walk out of here, your third eye will burn, and you'll be as lucid as Randall McMurphy after trying to choke out Nurse Ratched. Gas station acupuncture. Because why choose a side when you can choose a lobotomy behind a shell station? You went to Costco.
Yes.
Did you procure any tube steak?
Negative. I was already full of tube steak when I showed up to Costco.
Gotcha. Have you ever had a Costco tube steak?
I've never had well, no, are we talking about their $1.50 hot dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that is my son's favorite food in the world.
Okay.
And I'm very proud of my parenting on this front. Now, for all of you purists out there, I don't want to hear it. If he's 3, so if he wants ketchup on his hot dog, he's going to have ketchup on his hot dog. Right. He also demands mustard, relish, and raw onion on his hot dog.
Oh, that's all right. So you can abide by the ketchup when the other ingredients
That's
are there.
right.
Yeah.
And he'll crush that thing.
Mm-hmm.
He also, the other morning, inspired by my wife, demanded to have mommy's breakfast, which is a piece of toast with a semi-soft fried egg and sriracha.
Wow.
To which we went, that's not going to end well. We smashed the whole thing.
Nice.
So pretty proud of those moments. He might not be the most, He might not be able to do his times tables yet, but he eats like he can.
That's pretty good.
Man, yeah, the Costco hot dog legend. I read something that the CEO, like his board of directors, were all like, "Oh, you should change that price, with inflation and the times." And he was like, "I will burn this place down before I change that."
Right.
Like dead set. Mm-hmm. And as long as he has that mindset, like, I will keep renewing my membership. I love that.
Yeah. And the only way they would ever raise their price is if you bought a gross of hot dogs.
144 hot dogs. Yeah. I mean, in the Fansteel household, 2 months.
Yep.
Dead ass. Because the kid and I both like them. I will say he won't let me eat a chili dog. If he sees me chili a dog, he gets real pissed. He doesn't get it yet. Because him is like chili is a meal and the dog is a meal, and they shouldn't like intermingle.
I grew up with, I haven't had a hot dog, I don't know how many years, but I do like them, but I haven't had them. I grew up with getting the hot dogs that had the chili injected in them. Have you ever had one of those?
Some of the stuff that they did, I remember the whole, like, let's go put peanut butter and jelly in the same jar. I was like, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah, this was like maybe one of the progenitors of that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely remember the hot dogs with cheese in them, which to this day, you can go to a good barbecue restaurant and find, like, cheese chunks sitting in a homemade ground smoked sausage, and that's to die for.
That is.
I don't know that I want a Hebrew National with, like, chunks of...
Hormel.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what it was.
Literally plastic.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't American cheese considered a plastic?
I don't think it's considered cheese.
That's right. All right. Well, totally related. Bo Diddley. And the album is named Bo Diddley.
Yeah.
This album was released in 1958. It consists of 12 songs and runs a glorious 31 minutes and 9 seconds.
Yeah, and so while I was giving Rolling Stone magazine shade earlier about this faux compilation, it's important to note that Chess Records at this time wasn't really looking at albums as like pieces of art. They were just collections of singles that they're scraping the pieces together.
Hoping one hits.
Yep. So the record in and of itself is a compilation of singles.
Yep. And you'll note if you scroll down this album doing the eye check, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 songs. So roughly a third of the album feature his name in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Which I think is, this is his first record too. So I think this is, probably an attempt to get that name out there and heard so he can become an icon.
Yeah. Yeah. This recorded, released in 1958. It was recorded in Chicago. All the sessions were produced by Leonard and Phil Chess. Bo Diddley himself was a part of it as well, or at least a collaboration. And yeah, there's a handful of musicians who play on this that kind of play on all of his stuff. So you have Bo Diddley, lead vocals and guitar on all tracks. And he does play violin. We'll get on the next album. We have Jerome Green featuring...
Boy Jerome.
Yeah. Maracas, backing vocals.
Vibe.
Yep. Peggy Jones, or Lady Bo. She plays rhythm guitar, backing vocals. Willie Dixon on bass for many of the sessions, anchoring some of the rhythm. You have Clifford James and Frank Kirkland on drums. It's not clear which ones they play on, so we won't be able to tell you. Lafayette Leak and Otis Spawn.
Yeah, Otis.
Otis Spawn. We talked about Otis with Howlin' Wolf.
Howlin' Wolf.
Yeah. Has some good features eventually. We'll get to that. And Billy Boy Arnold on harmonica. So
good. I like the harmonica playing on this album generally.
Yeah.
I like it a lot more than I like some of the Howlin' Wolf. Because he was a good harmonica player, but
right.
I think some of the time it was like ill-placed.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I'm trying not to be tangential here, but like I can't help when listening to this album, and it's the one that follows it, but also like in a weird way, like compare it to my Howlin' Wolf experience.
Okay, what's that?
I think 1, Chess Records and the involvement. 2, just there's something very much about the shared musicians and kind of the way that they threw all these songs on. It's reminiscent of the Howlin' Wolf stuff with it, but just not in musical form.
No.
But I feel the same kind of like rawness. I feel like the production almost is speaking to me the same way. The production on this album is way better than the Howlin' Wolf album.
Except when it's not.
Yeah, but some of the Howlin' Wolf stuff was egregious.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's my...
So yeah, you want to walk in? So we're going to break this up. We'll basically pick 6 songs off of this one, 6 songs off the next one.
Sounds good. I'll kick it off.
Okay.
And I think I'll kick it off by talking about the song Bo Diddley.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know, right? The first song of the album, it's important to note that it starts off with the signature Bo Diddley rhythm. Dung, 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 a dung, dung. And that kind of hallmark is so cool. However, the thing that strikes me is he decides to kind of do a play on the Lullaby song for lyrics. You know,
Okay.
Hush little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If
Yeah.
that mockingbird don't.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's going through a similar scheme.
Well, he does that in Hush Your Mouth too.
Indeed, he does.
Yeah.
But it's weird to have that on the opening track as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of repeated themes throughout the course of the album.
Yep.
They're going fishing. They're like, hey, if this one doesn't hit, maybe this one will. Recycling ideas. I encourage you, go listen to your favorite old bands that if you have them, you'll hear in some outtakes they do this. Like 311 would not often, but there are 4 or 5 examples of them reusing a lyrical pattern or like an idea in their early work on more than one song.
Yeah.
and like verbatim.
Yeah.
And it's maybe they really valued it. Maybe they needed filler. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he'll do it here as well.
You know the song "Don't Stand So Close to Me" by The Police. They have the line, "It's a big enough umbrella.
Yeah.
But it's always me that ends up getting wet." Sting uses that, and Police use that in several other songs. That
There you
line
go.
shows up. Yep.
So yeah, this song it kind of comes out of the gate. It's the most Bo Diddley sounding song you can probably conjure up if you had to put one piece out there. Not saying it's my favorite piece. I'm just saying it kind of has all of his signature stuff.
Yeah, and this was the one that he was told to go rewrite because it didn't make sense, and really, I guess it was considered too dirty initially. But this one here, you have everything you need to know. You have your tremolo guitar.
Yep.
You got your maracas.
God, do you ever?
Yeah, and we're gonna make fun of the maracas, I bet, not because they're bad necessarily, but we talk about production. Sometimes they're mixed very loud. It's not terrible on this one.
No, this one they get away with it just fine. But yeah, there's a number of tunes where they're jarringly loud.
Yeah,
And it's like such a silly instrument to put that far up.
yeah,
I was pretty lax on my production notes across this whole album. I think I will only talk about times where it's oh my god horrible or oh my god wonderful.
yeah. No, this is a good song. It's a fun song. A lot of people have covered this song. Yeah, I mentioned the Doors have covered it, and and I just gave you a list earlier of I don't know at least 25 or 30 songs that
Obviously inspired by this.
Yeah,
So cheers to Bo.
yeah.
All right, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, we have to talk about "I'm a Man,"
Yeah,
and this is a blues song.
it is indeed.
But what I find interesting about this is the primary instrument in this song is the drums, the snare drum specifically.
Yeah,
Because the snare drum pattern is dut 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 dut
kind of
dut
like
dut.
a trot,
Yeah,
but blues.
right. And maracas. And now it does have the da 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 da.
Yep.
But there's no other music except for the vocals. No other pitched music, I should say. Drums are music.
Yeah, I mean it's we're all familiar with this kind of dun 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 dun, bluesy feel.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of this song, never have been, but I understand why it's popular, why it's there. And maybe because the first version of this song I ever heard was a parody.
Okay, so that's kind of burnt in your skull.
It's kind of burnt into it, and it's a parody done by Cheech and Chong.
Okay, yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
So then when I heard the real song, I was like, it's not a bad song. It's just not my favorite. But I get why it's here because, again, the da-da-da-da-da is Bad to the Bone. It's a bunch of other things that have come from it. So it's that raw ingredient that has been used over and over and over again that still holds.
Yeah. And even though there's no attempt to create an arc or like a large amount of consistency in this album, I will give it credit from sounding nothing like the first song.
Right.
I will say there's a line, the opening line to this song, I can effectively paraphrase, is a little disturbing to me. He's talking about being 5 years old with something in his pocket that keeps people alive. And then he scooches over and talks about being 21 and asking women to have some fun. Is he talking about his pecker?
Maybe, but he's 5.
That's weird, right?
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, kind of an odd lyric. I'm not so into. But overall, I like the swagger of the song. I think more than I like anything else in the song.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is, I mentioned the snare drum playing that rhythm, and are you familiar with this song? It's like another parody song. It's called "They're Coming to Take Me Away." Ha ha.
Yeah.
Right. I had to look up the artist. So I have it.
I could not tell you the artist to save my life.
So the artist's name is Jerry Samuels, but he's billed as Napoleon 14.
Okay.
That's a crazy song. They're coming to take me away. Ha ha. They're coming to take me away. Ho ho. Yeah. But it's that rhythm. That's what's going on in the background with a big loud,
that's a shuffle effectively at that point, right?
With a loud tambourine. And so
Jerome,
right, yeah. It's a crazy song. I never thought I would mention that on this podcast, but for some reason the snare drum I could not sing that song.
It's really dope. It's funny. I'm going to take us over to song number 4 on this album.
That doesn't surprise me.
Why so?
It's a good song.
Yeah, before you accuse me, I love this song.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, it's not earth-shattering. It's effectively a blues. It's the first time on the record where you really get to hear the guitar work stand out.
Yeah.
There's some solo work, or at least some lead work, I think would be a fair way to put it. The solo that is in it is really cool, really tasteful, and it adds yet another element because there's been active guitar playing throughout the album up until this point.
Yeah.
But now it's more featured.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that this tune, even though it doesn't scratch the itch of like how is this progressing rock and roll, to me it's like a really fresh take on a blues tune.
Yeah. I mean, I knew this song from CCR and Eric Clapton.
Okay. So heavily covered.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
But it makes perfect sense to me.
So I didn't know this was a Bo Diddley song before that. So I was happy to learn that. And Eric Clapton's done several covers of it. He did an electric cover, and then he did it on Unplugged. And I knew the CCR version, so it's definitely, yeah. And it's great. I do have a question for you on this. There's a weird tuning thing that happens, and I feel like it's the tape slowed down or something. Did you pick that up? There's like this.
Yeah, that I think I made a note. That's tape noise.
Yeah, that's what I figured it was. So cool.
And you're kind of like,
yeah,
okay,
but that
publish it.
Yeah,
you don't have too many choices.
Yeah, and it just goes to show probably the amount of budget that was thrown into these things and the amount of effort.
First album, the guy comes in and you tell him to go home and rewrite a song. You're probably not putting your A team on that. You're probably not dumping all your marketing dollars in it. They're like, come in Wednesday, and he's like, I'll be there.
Right, because he walked into Chess Records, say, I want to talk to Leonard Chess. Leonard Chess comes out, plays the song, come back later. Like it's
that's
small time.
And so you take what you can get.
Yeah.
And I mean, it to me, all it does is authenticate the song.
Yeah. And this was recorded in 1957. It was originally released as the B-side to Say, Boss Man. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say on that?
No,
one?
not at all. What do you got?
Well, we already talked about Hush Little Baby, so should we talk about Hush Your Mouth?
Hush Your Mouth.
Hush Your Mouth.
Just scrolling past that note.
Yep. So it's another diddly beat.
Yep.
And it, like I said, lyrically interpolates Hush Little Baby. The lyric is, hey, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's going to whoop you about something you heard. So that it's not across the entire song, but that's literally the
little
Yeah.
mid-album violence.
Yeah. This one here is another weird production, but I love the way his vocals sound on this. His voice is fantastic in this song.
It's really distracting because this and the song, Bo
Yeah.
Diddley, are so similar.
Yep.
This just feels like a facelift to Bo Diddley. And I agree. I think production-wise, this is a little more sparkly, has a lot more energy, and I do think that the vocal performance is stronger.
You get to hear the clear side of his vocals in this one versus the raspy part of it.
Yeah, it's not something we've talked about a lot, but there's kind of, I think 3 or 4 different Bo Diddley. He's kind of a chameleon the way he sings.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he has this voice of a lifetime. I wouldn't say that I could even pick him out of, a crowd vocally. Nothing really stands out for better and for worse, right? There's some singers who are just so polarizing, right? You're like, oh, you either hate or hate Bob Dylan, right? So it's like, for him, it's hate or tolerate. For Bo, it's he's kind of a chameleon, but this is a great tune here.
Yeah. I will argue a little bit
Vocally.
against the distinctiveness here is because there are some vocal phrasing that he does that it's uncanny and you know exactly where Mick Jagger got some of his vocal phrasing.
I have a Rolling Stone note myself.
And obviously Rolling Stones were big fans of Bo Diddley and covered some of his songs and all of that. But if I think of the way that Mick Jagger inflects his vocals, he's taking it right from Bo Diddley.
Ripped, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually Bo Diddley's strength is cadence and stylistic over the tonality.
Right.
It's what I rely on too in singing.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not naturally a good singer, so I have to rely on other tricks.
Yeah.
And so he has some fun things that he can do there. And look at Mick Jagger, not a stunning singer.
Right.
Energetic and has a lot of cool stuff that he does, and that's what's so gripping, right?
Yeah.
And hip thrusting, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last song on on this particular album I want to talk about, which is one of my favorites, is "Say Boss Man."
Yep. We have to talk about that one.
What a great tune!
Yeah.
I love the message here.
Got 19 kids at home, got to eat.
That I just get home 18 with shoes on their feet.
Yeah.
This song is awesome. I do like it because we venture into more doo-wop territory.
Yeah, the background vocals are great.
The whole band sounds really good here. And
Yeah.
so you get to see him in the role of kind of humbly being a section player. And I really like him there.
Yeah.
That it's so funny. The second you take the pressure off, he almost becomes more of the star.
Yeah.
Does that
that's
make sense?
Yeah, that's fair.
Right?
That's fair.
You don't want to put the weight of the world on it. This song's effortless and fun and convincing. This is definitely one of not my favorite song on the album. Story's charming. The performance is tight. I see how this could go on to inspire a Frankie Valli type character.
Yeah, it's like a 1-5 bass line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spectre and the Ronette type thing could pull from here.
For sure.
This tune for me was, it sits at song number 8 on the album. Criminally under listened to.
Yeah.
A couple of numbers I want to mention before you go to your last
That's
tune
fine.
here is you look at title track Bo Diddley. I'm looking at Spotify. It's 26 million,
Yep.
which is notable. That's high. Good on them.
Yeah.
I'm a Man jumps up to 47 million. And I'll just say it because you and I are on that song.
It's okay. Yeah.
That by far and away is the highest on here. Everything else after that, you're going to have a hard time scratching 5 million. You do towards the very end. Say Boss Man is only 377,000.
It's a really good song.
I know. I just feel like it's underserved.
But I think because it's not characteristic Bo Diddley. It's this doo-wop thing. And there are people who do doo-wop better.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
I'll buy
And
it.
so even though I like it and it's a really good song, if you're going to go down the doo-wop, you're going to go to Frankie Valli, you're going to go to
Yeah. Well, I will say, you end up with a lot of variety. You have the songs of the Diddley beat, which is truly what you can call rock and roll.
Yep.
Agreed? Mm-hmm. You have blues songs. You have doo-wop songs. So he's got a lot of these cool styles.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. It's one of a highlight for me, but I can see why
I guess I can too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, wrap it up. Give us one more song on this Bo Diddley cut that really spoke to you.
God, I am torn. So I'm gonna
Let's
I'm
do
gonna,
two.
I'm
Let's
gonna
do
do two really quick. I want to do Diddy Wa Diddy.
Yep.
Mainly because from a guitar perspective, there's some really nice guitar bends that come in. And I don't know, you probably don't, this is probably a deep cut here, but the song, The Walls Come Tumbling Down by the Jay Giles Band, is literally, you can hear the bones of it from this song.
All right, so
Including the bends. They stop with the exact same bends.
That's
in
pretty
their song.
cool.
Yeah. Captain Beefheart did a cool version of this as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's a good song.
I thought the groove in this song
Yeah.
was one of the best on the entire album.
Yeah.
The groove makes up for what the production lacks.
Yes, because it's weak from that perspective.
But man, this song actually grooves really hard. I really like both the drumming and the guitar playing on it.
Yeah.
I see. I had a feeling this one would be talked about.
Yeah. And then I have to talk about Who Do You Love, because that one's been so heavily covered. It was remade. He's re-recorded the song a few times. It was remade for the La Bamba soundtrack. So the original version here you hear here does not have the Bo Diddley beat. And I was surprised because I knew this song from La Bamba and I knew the song from George Thorogood because he covers the song.
Okay.
But the lyrics in this one, like the snake has a necktie and everything, these are like some of the best lyrics.
Yeah,
on
no,
the album.
this is, I think, a little more of what I thought. I didn't know anything about Bo Diddley coming
Yeah.
in. This is more what I thought I was getting into.
Yeah, I was just surprised it wasn't a Bo Diddley beat because every other version I've heard of this has the Bo Diddley beat in it.
Yep. Notable sick guitar yet again.
Yeah.
I really like Bo Diddley guitar.
Yeah.
There's something simple, but so chock full of attitude and effortless.
Yeah.
All at the same time. I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but he's a convincing guitar player.
Yeah. And yeah, if you haven't heard if people my age probably, because La Bamba was a big movie when I was in high school or whatever, so that soundtrack was kind of a big deal. It's a really good version of it. A lot of good artists playing on it, but it's his song.
You also end up getting, this is like a very like Memphis-y vibe.
This is like hoodoo, like voodoo.
Elvis-y,
Yeah.
Johnny Cash-y, like because of just that groove.
Yeah.
And it's it just goes to show how dynamic he is.
Yeah, and the tremolo guitar that's
Love it.
through here. So
Love
yeah,
it.
that's why I was torn between those two for my third song.
That's awesome.
And if Rolling Stone can have one album be two albums, I can have 3 songs be 4 songs.
We make the rules now.
That's right. We're the talent.
Okay, let's
Nice job with that.
go. Let's just take a little break and we'll attack the second album in this faux compilation.
All right.
The clock on the wall is a cyclops eye, counting the ways that the skin starts to die. Bear's hangnail hooked like a rusted barbed wire, scratching your eye like a funeral pyre. Sunday garments are slow lightning bolts, jagged and red are walking dead ghosts. Underneath the bed, don't pull on the thread, don't pull on the wire, unless you wanna set the whole choir on fire. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Tear at the cuticle, peel it down like a brown ramen nickel. Tear at the cuticle, peel it down like a brown ramen nickel. Down in the dark where the leather turns black, there's a silent invader that never looks back. As the yellowing empire crust of the cave, building to send a pink fleshy stray, but it's a tether to a debt you can never repay. You grab and you tug with old rusty pliers, and the nerves start screaming like a house on fire. It's a red ribbon zipper, a trail in the dirt, unraveling the man right out of the shirt. From the tip of the thumb, past the wrist, past the bone, leaving the muscle all naked and lone. It's a long, stinging highway that leads to the bend, peeling you open to elbows in. Tear at the cuticle, peel it down like a brown ramen noodle. Tear at the cuticle, peel it down like a brown ramen noodle. Tear at the cuticle, peel it down like a brown ramen noodle. Tear at the cuticle, peel it down like a brown ramen noodle.
I feel like I can barely tell if videos are real anymore because of AI. Like today I saw a video of a leopard and it was being like dragged behind a hippopotamus. It was like biting this hippopotamus's tail. And then the hippopotamus takes this huge gassy explosive poop on the leopard and it like paints him and he growls.
Is that how he got spots?
That's pretty good. No, he turned into like Panther.
Got it.
It was bad.
So it filled in the blanks.
Yeah, and I was like, "There's no way this is real," but it could be.
Right.
And so it's confusing me as to whether or not, this is good for us. Like, oh wow, we're being creative, or if it's just pure. What do the kids call it?
Slop.
Brain rot. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of AI slop, and we've not been afraid to use AI in some of our stuff, but usually there's still some telltale signs. Usually, if you look at the lighting, it's either too perfect or the directionality doesn't change. Obviously, the classical too many fingers is a problem.
Well, the leopard had a New York accent. Was that a tell?
No, they typically do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
From Yonkers.
Yep.
You know,
Yonkers.
Yoni massage.
Right.
So anyway, it's getting to the point where I'm like, because the too many fingers thing, I used to be able to tell. Now I'm just like, I want this to be real.
I don't think it'd be long before we will not be able to tell. Right now, it's usually pretty obvious. But
yeah. Well, the writing is for sure.
So what's crazy is because AI is trained on the internet, and now AI is producing a lot of the internet. So AI writing is garbage.
It's
now.
like an echo chamber of itself to some extent, or at least depends on what you're using, right?
Yeah. Over Christmas break, we listened to a lot of Christmas music, and you could just tell which ads, even on the radio, were written by AI.
I couldn't believe I'm hearing people, the scripts on actual FM radio, and I'm like, that's someone just phoned that one in.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And there's all the little telltale signs, the listing things in threes, right? Mentioning a name and never mentioning it again.
Right. Or it's not this, it's that. It's not this, it's that. It doesn't represent this, but it's like, it's.
How ironic. You did it 3 times.
I did.
That's the pattern.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's gotten to the point where it's annoying me.
Yeah. What's fun is asking AI why it sounds like AI.
Oh, I haven't done that yet. I don't have the bandwidth for that tonight. I barely have the bandwidth to talk about our next album.
Really?
Go Bo Diddley.
Released in 1959.
So the year after. And sure enough, this one is 12 songs, 31 minutes and 42 seconds. They added a whole 31 seconds. to this one. And this is, I guess, kind of what Daniel and I offline have called the B-side.
Yeah, it's still a compilation of recordings from 1955 to 1958, but there was a little bit of desire to, Bo Diddley's kind of a wild character.
Yeah.
When you hear him interview, he's a lot of energy, and I feel like they were trying to put a little bit more polish on him. So, and you can tell by the types of recordings that are on here. I'm not saying that the recording quality is necessarily profoundly better or anything like that, but the music is, I'll say it's tamer on this one for the most part.
Yeah, but being tame, I think it lacks some of the spirit that I liked so much about the first album.
Yeah.
And the numbers would agree. The highest listened to song on here. Remember, the highest listened to song on the last album was over 47 million listens.
Mm-hmm.
1.1 million listens. That's some fall off right there.
It really is. And with a couple of exceptions, I feel like this is Rolling Stone just trying to make sure that Bo Diddley gets enough credit.
Give him an extra album.
Yeah.
They could have done it on just the first one, though. They really could have.
They could have.
It was a big enough statement.
Yeah, and it's a great album.
Not to say this one lacks,
Yeah.
but just doesn't have the same oomph.
Yeah, and so a little bit of behind the scenes conversation here is we try not to look, we don't look ahead on the list. And I have this list archived and I have software that tells me to go look at the list because I'm trying not to spoil it for myself. We're about 5 episodes ahead or something like that.
Yeah, we'll typically peek ahead. We had to learn to do that because of massive compilations,
Right.
For scheduling.
Yeah, we couldn't just surprise, we're going to do 56 songs next week.
That's a pretty tall order.
Yeah. So the software pulled it back, and it did say Bo Diddley / Go Bo Diddley, but then it just went and grabbed this one for me. So last week we were supposed to record this album, and you said you're ready to talk about 24 tunes, and I'm like, it's just 12. What are you talking about? So
that's typically like a Carl type of mistake.
Yeah. And so I didn't look at the official list because I believe that list at some point they're going to change it. So I'm trying to keep this one locked in stone. So I just have to look a little bit more carefully. I did happen to find another website that is tracking this list and tracking the changes that have occurred.
Oh.
Because I saw a couple of things, about things that have moved around. So I think my list is accurate, and it was accurate. It did say, and I'm like, why is there a slash in this thing? It must be a problem with the list.
Yeah.
It wasn't a problem with the list. So anyway.
Well, if he'd stopped naming all his freaking albums after his own name, go from Bo Diddley to Go Bo Diddley,
yeah,
that also is just trippy to read.
It's a little bit.
You'll also notice that on this album, there's only one reference to his name. Mm-hmm. So we've changed,
and 0 instances of the Bo Diddley beat.
I know. How about that? You took away like the hallmark.
So imagine how sad I was when I thought that was the only album we were going to do.
And there's no Bo Diddley beat.
Like, how is this even?
You're like, I guess I'll go listen to Faith by George Michael.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, this is a good album. It just, if you're going to pick and choose, I'll just say pick the first one.
Yeah. Agreed.
So,
with that said, though,
we might as well talk about.
It opens up on a song called "Crack It Up."
It does,
which is my favorite song on the album.
And everybody else's, right?
Just
almost,
about.
yeah,
it's close. It's second highest rated, just over 1 million likes or listens. What really engages me here, though, so if you're going to take away my down the middle, rootin' tootin' Bo Diddley groove or blues groove, give me a Latin rhythm. Here we go. Or at least an off Latin rhythm.
Yeah.
A Latin inspired rhythm. Is it a samba? No. Is it a bachata? No. It's certainly not a soca or a bossa nova.
It's closer to a rumba.
Oh yeah, the rumba is what I kind of landed on, but it's not even a true rumba.
No.
But what you do have here is a song that has a really nice rhythmic texture. Mm-hmm. You could, by the way, double time this in a stepper's groove and get a hell of a reggae song out of it.
Yes, you could.
It would be awesome. That would be, dude, if I roll this on Carl's cover for next season, I'm gonna reggae this song.
Oh yeah, I think that would work.
But I like this song. It's melodic. It's soulful. It's kind of genre bending, and the vocal performance on it is really, really good.
Yeah. And you get a little bit more harmony than we've gotten so far.
Yeah. It's kind of cool to open on this tune. It gives you some hope.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you have this like major six, like to sus4 rhythm that goes on.
And
not a major six chord, but it's a major six chord, not the six is major. It's a
the major six chord, which is like the hopeful chord. It's so nice.
Yeah.
And the instrumentation, there's a nice kind of spread. This is one of those roles where Bo Diddley, though he's doing a very good job kind of being the lead singer, still feels like part of the orchestra per se.
Yeah.
Or ensemble is a better way to put it, rather than like out in front.
Yeah.
Which I think is a mistake people make. Sometimes out in front works. You put Elvis out in front, that works. Sometimes being part of your ensemble and blending is more effective.
Yeah.
Good example here.
Yeah. My only dig on this has nothing to do with the song itself, but there's this one vocalist who's singing like guide tones. It's not the best intonation.
No, it's not. A little flat, I gather.
Yeah, yeah.
But at least it's authentic.
Yep. Yeah. There's no auto-tune in this one. Could use it.
Yeah.
A little nudge.
I feel like a remix would sound really, really nice on this song.
Yeah, because it's a little too loud in the mix too.
It is.
Yeah.
The balance is a little off. But overall, I find this song cheery and charming, and I really like that they open the album this way.
Yeah.
Because it's a statement. Hey, this is not the last album.
No, it's not. And even though I'm picking on it, it's not, it's noticeable, but it's not that noticeable until you notice it, then you can't unhear it. But then on repeat listens, like, oh, I forgot that was there.
Yeah.
So it's not overwhelming, but it's definitely there.
You're gonna catch that. That's just a mark of the time.
Yeah.
Which tunes speak to you?
I'm trying to do this for sort of completeness. So I guess I'll just go right to the next song and go to I'm Sorry.
Okay.
Because again, we're in a 6/8 groove.
Got a
ballad, more tremolo guitar.
Love it.
And it's just 1/4/5, but it does do the modulation to the 4 at the turnaround, which is nice. Very idiomatic for this sort of generation. And I'd say that I don't know if there's actually bass guitar in this, but the bass line I think is just played on the guitar.
I'm sure there was. Bass is so underserved.
Yeah.
Like you got to think about like how hard it is to capture that fidelity and frequency, right? It took a long time, and you didn't have like the bass that I take out to shows, or the main one at least, has 18-volt preamp in it. I literally put 2 9-volt batteries in this sucker. Right.
Yeah.
These were passive basses back then. It's just hard to capture really wholesome bass tone, and so you don't end up getting a lot of good bass.
It could have been upright too.
Yeah,
it's
quite possibly
inaudible, and it's hard to capture the with an upright bass. Like they're not loud instruments anyway.
No, and miking them back then, it wasn't like the Piazzo pickup system was like perfected by any means or even in existence. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bass was not in popular music very, it didn't get its fair share until probably mid 60s.
Yeah.
It really, really slayed throughout the 60s and 70s. And in some forms of music, it was incredibly prominent coming into the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And in some, it totally fell off. You go look at like bass lines and hair bands, generally speaking, I'm sure you can find examples where it's there, but like it falls off. If you look at, more like stuff that falls in that or like more like yacht rocky category,
the
stuff that went fusiony, bass ends up having a huge impact. You look at, what bass, you look at Geddy Lee, right? And not yacht rocky at all, but you look at the fusion element of that.
Not sure what yacht you're on there.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you can hear very prominent bass lines. The 70s speak for themselves, but if you move into disco or post-disco funk, like chic type stuff, killer bass lines. You go into like the Hall & Oates type stuff or the Steely Dan type stuff, very pronounced bass.
Right.
You go into the rock, and then synthesizer bass started to take over. 90s rock bass is lost yet again, just buried.
with some exception.
with some
Yep.
exception.
Yep.
But for a while, it becomes part of the unit.
Yeah, I was just playing a bunch of Stone Temple Pilots the other day, and
Oh,
there's some
great
bass-
moving bass lines. You know, I think that the first bass line I ever learned on my red Yamaha bass that I bought when I was in my early teens, like 13, was When I Come Around, Green Day, right?
Yep.
Dung, 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 dung. Nice moving bass line.
Longview.
I never learned Longview's bass line as a kid, but yeah, I mean, I remember learning Aeroplane, you know, the slap part from Flea. But then you go and you look at a band like, who were you just talking about? Collective Soul.
Yep.
You're not going to get really noticeable bass lines in like that wall, right?
No.
So the bass roll's crazy. I just know for a fact that in the 50s, you just didn't get a ton of
Not a ton.
rich sounding bass because I think it was hard to capture.
Yeah. But it's a good song. Nice ballad. Reached number 17 on Billboard's R&B chart in 1959. So it did pretty well. And this is actually sort of unique on here because this has a co-writing credit with Alan Freed and Harry Fuqua.
Whoa, take it easy on the language.
I will. So
All right, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm just going to go ahead and poach it. Say, man.
Say, man, your girl's so ugly.
Oh my gosh. So to call this a song would probably be not the most accurate piece.
There's music happening.
There's music happening. You know, this might be like one of the first like hip hop skits.
Yeah. So basically, this is an insult track. Heavy maracas with like the tequila groove.
Thanks, Drum.
Right.
But it's just two dudes dissing each other, and going back and forth on like good old Yo Mama jokes, a la Far Side, but instead we're going mainly talking about each other's girlfriends.
Yeah. So this is known. I didn't realize this is a thing. I mean, insults are a thing, but this is a game called The Dozens.
And why is it called The Dozens?
Well, it's not 100% clear, but there's some speculation. And it's a game mostly played by African Americans, and there's a lot of other names for it. But one of the things that was I could attribute, God, I can't get my words out, attributed to is the origins of slave trade in New Orleans. So where deformed slaves, generally slaves punished but with mutilation or for disobedience, were grouped in lots of a cheap dozen for sale.
Oh,
Yeah,
yucky.
yucky. There are some other origins, but that was one of the more terrible ones that I saw as a potential version of it. Another thing that came out of sort of the slave trade time was, well, they couldn't speak up to the man, so they just give each other crap.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you see that in just working
Today.
jobs with your colleagues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, probably a mix of A, B, and a C. We don't even know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and yeah, it would make sense, the first one at least, because they're really ribbing on physical appearance
Yep. Yeah.
all of the time. It's not like you're so dumb. It's almost, I think this is where the phrase, you got beat by the ugly stick.
Yeah.
That one,
That's in here. I
that
think.
it's literally in
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I've heard that,
Yeah.
a million times. And this is definitely, 1959, the earliest arguments one could make for it for me.
Yeah. Had to sneak. Your girl's so ugly. Had to sneak up on the glass to get a drink of water.
Oof. Creative.
Yeah.
And the tonality of it's hilarious because you kind of have like this one dude who's, sounds like he's been hanging out,
Right.
man. And then like a more like sober sounding Bo Diddley.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's still participating, shooting back.
Yeah.
It's just I like it because it's funny. I also like it because it does remind me, if you look at, down the line, especially in the culture of hip hop albums, we talked about this specifically on that Far Side album, because there's a track that's very much like it.
Yeah.
A lot of the hip hop I grew up on, it'll be 18 songs, but really there's 4 or 5 interludes.
Yeah.
And you could get this anywhere. You could get this from, Outkast. You can get this from Talib Kweli. You get this from Eminem. You can get it
Right.
from a lot of, kind of different angles.
Right.
And so I'd like to think this is trend setting on his behalf.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun song. It's not a song, but it's a fun song.
Yes, indeed. I'm glad that track's here to bring some flavor.
Yeah.
What else spoke to you here?
Well, let's bounce up to another song that's not really a song. Bo's guitar.
Oh yeah, there you go. Thank you. Good call.
Yeah. I mean, it is a song for sure, but it's mostly a lot of noodling.
Yes, it is. It's him showing off his chops.
Yep.
I like it because you end up with that cool vibrato and the tonality. It really is signature Bo Diddley.
Yep. Heavy maracas.
Jerome,
You have Otis Spawn doing some nice piano stuff.
man.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, I think that's him.
Yeah.
And it makes sense coming out of Chess Records.
Yep.
I made a note earlier about kind of like cadres of recording musicians. Same, they'll hang, the same producer will call them back and back and back, just like any other industry.
Yeah.
So that's
and then
awesome.
There's this drum groove that the only way I can really describe it is think of Super Mario Brothers Underworld drums. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Almost
Just sped up.
tribal.
Yeah. Just sped up. Yeah.
And kind of swung.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. A neat tune.
Yeah.
I say tune. You can call
There's
it
a
tune. Yeah. But it kind of is sitting in its own realm. There's nothing like it on the album.
Yeah. Bo's just playing the guitar, and you're hearing like the origin of some licks that maybe not as refined here, but that you can hear like, oh, this is the origin of this.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's worth highlighting the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty well known in the guitar community that just everybody steals from everybody, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's drum set, fills, same thing,
That's
right?
how that's how art happens. Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody's stealing from everybody. So you look at that bag of tricks and you go, okay, cool. Who else has these?
Yeah, these like muted double stops and a bunch of other things that you hear in surf music.
Oh yeah, how about that?
Yeah. So there's some really cool stuff. It's definitely worth a listen. You're not going to be blown away by the virtuosity.
No.
That's not what you're going to hear. But what you're going to hear is where the stuff came from, and it's really it's to me. We already said we think the first album is enough.
Yeah.
And I'd say this song potentially.
Yeah. I'd fight for this song.
Yeah.
And I'd fight for Cracking Up because I just like it so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Any other tunes on here you want to speak about? I think I might have one more.
Yeah, I have one more.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see if we pick the same one.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with... Oh, yeah, Don't Let It Go.
What would you say?
Oh, yeah, Don't Let It
okay.
Go.
Yeah, got it.
I had to write oh, yeah, because that's what he sings.
Yeah.
That's Don't Let It Go, which would be the 9th song on the album. What I like about this tune is a couple of things. One, I love that the beat's driving.
Yep. It's their origin of Bad of the Bone.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so second time we've kind of heard this pattern, right? And there's a really strong vocal hook going on in this song, which to me,
Show enough.
that's right. It starts to push towards pop rock.
Yep.
And it's like in the bones, and you get a simple vocal hook that people can sing along with. That's the point.
Yep.
Right. We remember, people were always talking about back in like the 2010s, the millennial whoop. It was like what Taylor Swift was using, a lot of, especially female artists, but like Maroon 5 was using it too, right? Right. Roar, Katy Perry is a good example. Imagine Dragons, every single song.
Yep.
But that was like a calling card for the time. Here you end up getting this primitive version of it effectively.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good song.
It's a fun song. It cooks. It's one that, I get joy listening to. And I actually appreciate having it towards the back half of the album. It keeps it kind of sparky.
Yeah. And He's singing lower than normal in this
Yeah,
one.
he's doing that chameleon thing again.
Yep.
It's really wild. Like I'm thinking about Bo Diddley and going, okay, like it's not his songwriting vocals. I don't know how many of the lyrics he really wrote versus had people helping him.
Right.
None of that is, he's kind of all over the place there. His voice and what he's able to do with it is kind of all over the place. I couldn't even tell you what he looks like. I've seen a million pictures of him, and he's just like, it's like Fergie. I just don't know what she looks like.
Right. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm the same way with Lady Gaga too. I just can't see Stephanie's face.
Right.
I see multiple versions of her. I see all I see in Bo Diddley is like album covers, but he's a blur to me. The one thing that just stands out about him is I can hear his guitar playing.
Yeah.
That's his signature to me. That's what's gripping me.
Yeah, I agree. I think I kind of want to go to Dearest Darling.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah. It's, if you want to know what it sounds like, if you don't know this was on the B-side of Hush Your Mouth. And I feel like this is where Wake Up Little Susie came from.
Yeah.
For sure. And the other thing I like about this is the trope of love, and there's another song here, I can't remember which one it is, where he's talking about, well, God picked me for you because he knew I'd love you best. And this one here is picked you out from all the rest because he knew I'd love you best. Yeah, like,
yeah. I think was that on You Don't Love Me?
Yeah. So it happens more, and it's kind of idiomatic as well. And I like there's like a deep snare, right? It's like almost like a train beat.
Yeah.
That's going on here, and his voice gets pretty gnarly on this one. And I think what I like about that is I can hear where Jim Morrison is getting inspiration from some of the.
There's some rhythmic accents
Yeah.
and phrasing that are super choice.
Yeah.
And if you think about Jim Morrison's style, you could put him in the same camp as like Bowie had kind of neat presentation like that.
Yeah.
All of it inspired. It knew a small part by
Yeah.
kind of where we're going here. You got to think we were talking about Al Green recently.
Yeah.
And some of these charts, insane chord charts,
Yep.
like mind-boggling. I don't know where this came from, who composed this, and then his ability to sing over it and phrase over it. You look back to what Bo Diddley's working with, not insane chord charts,
Meat and potatoes.
not a lot of melodic options. And so one of the only things you can play with is
Your timbre.
your timbre, accents, enunciation, and that kind of your rhythm and where you decide to start and end phrases.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. I really enjoyed this song because of that. And I talk about like the deep snare. And if anything else on this song, I just want one other mention.
No, please.
So the next song, Clock Strikes 12, I just want to talk, because this is just a blues with like this John Bonham sounding like drum reverb.
Yeah, this one, and I think that's kind of the throwback, because this one to me, blues, yes, but it has a little bit of that doo-wop element,
Yeah.
and doo-wop is generally saturated.
Yeah.
Like when I say saturated, I mean verb is often present.
Yeah.
See Phil Spector.
Yeah. But I feel like when you hear John Bonham's like drum sound, I've got to imagine it might even come from this. Like, it's so reminiscent of that.
Like he listened to this like diner style.
Yeah, it's like I want
and
that
was like, I want
cavernous
big
sound. Yeah.
Well, you think about the efforts and lengths that they went to, like Moby Dick. You know, that was the famous story. Is they put his drum kit at the bottom of like a 3-level stairway foyer, right?
Yeah.
And put the mics all the way at the top to get those like massive sounding drums.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
And the other thing the reason I want to call this out is because this has violin in it, which is Bo Diddley playing violin.
I did not know that until you literally said it at the beginning of this podcast. That's so cool.
Yeah. So I figure it's worth calling that out. Shows some more diversity, shows his origin, and it sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps up the highlights on this one for me.
Me too.
Well, so overall, did you hit it?
Yeah, I would. I did. Well, I would hit the first one. How about that?
I'm with you in the respect that does Bo Diddley deserve to be on this list? Absolutely.
No doubt.
And I think the album Bo Diddley alone, without the need, now mind you, there's some good stuff on Go Bo Diddley.
Right.
But Bo Diddley alone,
Yeah.
definitely could stand on its own two legs without, we could have done this in half the time, half the songs.
Right. And I put some of these songs on a playlist, but I don't necessarily need to listen to this entire album.
Yeah. But yeah, check it out if you're not hip to Bo Diddley.
Yeah.
I was, no matter how hard I tried, I was still going to always categorize him and all the other Chess Records stuff. I was always going to put him in like the Howling Wolf camp in my head. I'm so glad, that we had an extra week actually to listen to this and like crank it out again. I fatigued on a little bit of it, but I think the stuff that meant a lot to me just amplified.
Yeah. Question for you.
What you got?
What's in your ears?
What's in my ears? I know what's in my ears. I have been listening to a little duo called Tune Yards.
Okay.
Are you hip to these two?
I've heard of them. I don't know enough about them.
Oh my God, Daniel. They have one tune that kind of squeezed its way in via the algorithm on everybody's favorite streaming service. So husband-wife duo.
Mm-hmm.
Wife is a bananas singer. Just like crazy vocal control, perfect intonation, like but has all of the power of like Florence and the Machine Lady, and like, but all like this the harmonization of like Layla Hathaway.
Wow.
And she's just like this like white chick. It's just so cool. And she's this powerhouse singer, and she takes these huge risks and stacks these harmonies that are like, just a whole step apart.
Yeah.
With such confidence and such inflection. The husband is doing a lot of the background music production. Who does this remind you of?
Well,
One of your favorites.
well, I'm not sure which one you're going to say.
Pamplemousse.
Okay, Pamplemousse. Yeah.
Husband-wife duo doing this incredibly creative, fun music. Yeah. These guys are doing a lot of that's very soulful, and they do a lot of looping. And a lot of it's dissonant and experimental, fun time signatures. They don't shy away from digital and analog instruments and like hard mixing them, synth and fall off stuff.
Right.
It's truly one of the most fascinating music is alive and healthy statements I've caught in the past month. The song that caught me initially is a song called Heartbreak, which is just catchy as hell. But when I started listening to one of their albums, the one that Heartbreak's on, there's a song called How Big Is the Rainbow, which just, I'll show it to you after this. It fucked me all up.
That's pretty cool. That's exciting. When you first started talking about them, the reason I got stuck is I started thinking of Tuck and Patty. You ever listen to Tuck and Patty?
No.
Oh, yeah. So Tuck Andres and Patty Andres coupled. She's a phenomenal singer, and he's this incredible, can do anything on guitar. They're jazz. They happen to be the aunt and uncle of St. Vincent.
Oh, man, talk about lineage.
Yeah. And so they were kind of her inspiration for getting into music, and Tuck is this like off-the-chain guitar player. I was lucky enough to see them a few times in concert. I saw them when I was in college. And and they have some original music, and Tuck does his own stuff. He does a lot of solo, just guitar work, but he does a lot of covers as well, jazz standards. He has real cool, just instrumental guitar of "Man in the Mirror" by Michael Jackson.
There's one instrumental guitar, "Man in the Mirror," I have memorized. It's been in my algorithm forever. I wonder if that's him.
It could be. And he plays all instruments while doing that. That's not who's in my ears, but when you said that, it made me think of that. So I'll have to check that out. So
what you been listening to?
So because of Bo Diddley and the Jim Morrison thing, I've been mainlining "Strange Days," the album "Strange Days" by The Doors. I love that album. I've loved that since I was
So it's like
13.
a revisit.
Yeah, and I haven't listened to it in a while, and it's so good. So weird.
I'm not terribly familiar with the catalog. I mean, I know songs. What?
The most popular song.
You know my question. Wonderful.
Yeah. So you would know People Are Strange.
Yep.
And you probably know The End.
Yep. Okay, cool. So that pretty much places it for me.
But it has Moonlight Drive and People Are Strange. And,
I know Moonlight Drive.
Yeah. It's so good.
Okay.
It has Horse Latitudes, this weird poem. He's like, it's pretty
Sounds
good.
about right.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, I look forward to exploring the Doors.
Sorry, not The End. When the music's over. When the music's over. I said The End, but
Is that I know what you meant.
yeah, when the music's over, turn out the lights. Yeah.
So I don't know if I've told this little snippet, and then I'll promise I'll end. But when I was in middle school, I kind of bounced around the friend groups. I wasn't quite sports. I hadn't really found like my huge love for music to the point where I like knew where I'd be sitting right now.
Right.
And so like one of my kind of cliquey friend groups, the one my girlfriend was in, they're kind of the artsy fartsies.
Yep.
And, they definitely like, were smoking cigarettes nice and early in life and just a little counterculture-y.
Mm-hmm.
And they were so hip to like the Doors and stuff like this back when we were like 12, 13.
Yeah.
And I remember being inundated, like just all they wanted to listen to was stuff like that. And I had no desire.
Yeah.
And I regret that. I regret not caring and having the ear and caring to do it. Like their idea of a good time, they just go watch like these funny like Beatles movies and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I wish I had kept my ears open.
Yeah.
So that I'm looking for my redemption with the Doors.
Well, we'll talk about the Doors later for sure.
Yeah, sure. I hope I'm still alive in 9 years. Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got to revisit that piece.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we're so happy that you joined us on our little journey here. We always look forward to your comments and feedback. You can catch us on social media.
At Backwards Beats Podcast.
Or you can go ahead and send an email that only Dan is logged into.
backwardsbeatspodcast@gmail.com.
And what do we got next week?
We have the interesting album, which is Ege Bamyasi, I think is how you say that.
I mean, your guess is better than mine.
It's Turkish okra is basically what it is, by the band Can.
Oh, man, and it's a doozy.
It is.
I look forward to talking about that one.
Yep.
Well, we hope that you stay warm and safe in this upcoming winter weather if you're a northeasterner. Otherwise, you sit out there, be nice to your neighbors, love each other. We'll catch you next time. I'm Carl Carter Fansteel.
I'm Dan Woodard.
See ya.
That was a show about the albums Bo Diddley and Go Bo Diddley. We're thankful that he paved the way for other artists.
Backwards Beats Podcast is a Toodlewood production recorded live at Thought Shack Studios in Halethorpe, Maryland.
If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can find us at Backwards Beats Podcast on most platforms.
Share the love, and we'll see you next week for another deep dive into the next album on Rolling Stone Magazine's Top 500 list. Until then, salt your melons.